While most people struggle to keep up with rising costs, the Amish live well on a fraction of the budget, and they've done it for generations. Their way of life is built on simple habits that cut costs, reduce waste, and bring lasting value to every part of the home, proving that a low-cost life can still be a rich one. Most families walk into grocery stores with a vague idea of what they need, tossing items into their cart based on what looks good or what's on sale. The Amish approach this completely differently. They sit down before ever leaving their property and map out every single meal for the entire week. This isn't just scribbling down chicken for Tuesday on a scrap of paper. Amish families think through breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even snacks. They consider who will be home for which meals, what ingredients they already have stored away, and how much physical work the family will be doing that week. A harvest week means heartier meals, while a quieter week might call for lighter fare. What makes their system so effective is how they choose ingredients that work across multiple dishes. Take a simple bag of potatoes. Monday might see them mashed alongside roast chicken. Tuesday, those same potatoes get diced into a hearty soup with leftover chicken bones, creating the broth. Wednesday brings potato pancakes for breakfast, and by Thursday, any remaining potatoes join vegetables in a casserole that feeds the whole family. This multi-use thinking extends to every ingredient they purchase. Flour becomes bread, biscuits, gravy thickener, and coating for fried foods. Eggs work for breakfast, baking, and binding ingredients in evening meals. Nothing gets bought without having at least 2 or 3 intended uses already planned out. The Amish have discovered something that food waste studies confirm. Families who plan their meals before shopping reduce their food waste by up to 40% compared to those who shop impulsively. That translates directly into money staying in their pockets instead of ending up in the trash bin. Their planning also prevents the expensive trap of duplicate purchases. Grocery stores love customers who forget they already bought 3 bottles of vanilla extract because that forgetfulness pays for the store manager's vacation. Amish families know exactly what sits in their pantry because they check before they plan, and they plan before they shop. When they do make their shopping trips, usually once a week or even less frequently, they stick strictly to their list. No wandering down aisles looking for inspiration. No grabbing items just because they are marked down. Every purchase serves the meal plan they have already committed to. This disciplined approach means Amish families spend significantly less money on groceries than typical American households. While the average family spends over $700 monthly on food, many Amish families feed larger households on half that amount without sacrificing nutrition or satisfaction. The key lies in their preparation. They invest time up front to save money throughout the week. Rather than making quick decisions under the bright lights of the grocery store, they make thoughtful choices at their kitchen table where they can consider their real needs, their current supplies, and their family's preferences without any outside pressure to spend more than necessary. And of course, all this meal planning works even better when you already have half the ingredients growing right outside your door. Behind every Amish farmhouse sits a patch of land that tells a story of survival and smart money management. These aren't the weekend hobby gardens you see in suburban backyards with a few cherry tomatoes and wilted lettuce. These are working gardens that feed families of 8, 10, sometimes 12 people from spring through the following winter. An Amish grandmother will wake before dawn on a July morning and walk through her garden rows, mentally calculating the day's harvest. She knows exactly which tomatoes are ready, which beans need another day, and how many cucumbers she can pickle before they get too large. Her hands move with practiced efficiency, filling basket after basket with food that would cost a fortune at the grocery store. The math behind these gardens reveals their true power. A typical Amish family garden occupying just a quarter acre can produce over 3,000 pounds of food annually. That same amount of vegetables would cost nearly $4,000 at retail prices. The seeds, tools, and basic supplies needed to grow this bounty cost less than $100. The return on investment makes Wall Street jealous. But these families don't just grow random vegetables and hope for the best. Every plant serves multiple purposes across different seasons. Take the humble cabbage. Fresh heads provide crisp summer salads and coleslaw. Later crops get fermented into sauerkraut that preserves for months without refrigeration. The outer leaves that most people throw away become feed for chickens and pigs, which eventually provide meat and eggs for the family table. Amish gardens are so productive that even the weeds probably contribute to the family budget somehow. The real genius shows up in August when preservation season begins. Amish kitchens transform into bustling canning operations. Mothers and daughters work side by side, processing hundreds of pounds of tomatoes into sauce, paste, and whole canned tomatoes. The heat from multiple boiling pots makes the kitchen almost unbearable, but the reward sits in neat rows on pantry shelves. Those glass jars represent months of groceries that cost nothing but labor and time. Root cellars beneath these houses stay naturally cool, storing potatoes, carrots, and turnips well into spring. Winter squash-lined shelves in basements, some varieties keeping fresh for nearly a year. Herbs hang in bundles from kitchen rafters, drying into seasonings that replace expensive store-bought spices. The community aspect multiplies these benefits. When one family harvests more green beans than they can process, neighbors arrive with empty baskets and willing hands. They spend the afternoon snapping beans together, sharing the work and the harvest. Next week, the favor gets returned when someone else has surplus corn or too many cucumbers. Children learn garden wisdom alongside their regular lessons. A 6-year-old already knows that carrots planted too early will bolt in hot weather, that beans need warm soil to germinate, and that tomatoes require steady water to prevent blossom and rot. This knowledge becomes their inheritance, worth more than money in the bank. The gardens also provide insurance against economic uncertainty. When food prices jumped 30% in recent years, Amish families noticed no change in their grocery bills. Their vegetables continued growing regardless of inflation, supply chain problems, or global market fluctuations. While the garden provides fresh food all summer, keeping the house clean during harvest season requires products that are just as homegrown as the vegetables themselves. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. 3 ingredients sit in every Amish pantry that could replace an entire aisle of cleaning products at the local store. White vinegar, baking soda, and plain water create cleaning solutions powerful enough to tackle everything from grimy windows to stubborn floor stains. No fancy bottles, no chemical warnings, no spending $20 on products that promise miracles but deliver average results. Vinegar mixed with water becomes the universal cleaning solution in Amish homes. The ratio stays simple: 1 part vinegar to 3 parts water in a mason jar or old bottle. This mixture cuts through grease on stovetops, removes soap scum from wash basins, and leaves windows streak-free. The sharp smell disappears quickly, unlike commercial cleaners that leave rooms reeking of artificial fragrances for hours. Baking soda handles the jobs that need scrubbing power. Sprinkled on wet surfaces, it creates a gentle abrasive that removes burnt food from pans and stubborn stains from countertops. Mixed with just enough water to form a paste, baking soda cleans ovens, removes crayon marks from walls, and freshens carpets when sprinkled and vacuumed up later. The cost difference between homemade and store-bought cleaners reveals why Amish families stick with simple ingredients. A gallon of white vinegar costs $3 and makes enough window cleaner to last months. The same amount of commercial glass cleaner would cost over $15 and contain chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Amish cleaning supplies are so simple that the ingredient list fits on a postage stamp with room left over for the zip code. Amish women have perfected dozens of cleaning recipes using these basic ingredients. Hot water and vinegar create a powerful floor cleaner for wood and linoleum. Baking soda dissolved in warm water cleans dishes as effectively as expensive dish soap. A mixture of all 3 ingredients creates a foaming cleaner perfect for bathrooms and kitchen sinks. The cleaning clothes get the same practical treatment. Old shirts, worn-out dresses, and faded towels become cleaning rags instead of heading to the trash. These cloth pieces work better than paper towels for most jobs, absorbing more liquid and lasting through multiple wash cycles. A family might use the same cleaning cloths for years, washing and reusing them until they literally fall apart. This approach eliminates the constant expense of disposable cleaning products. Paper towels, disinfecting wipes, and single-use cleaning cloths cost families hundreds of dollars annually. Amish households spend that money once on reusable cloth and save for years afterward. The homemade cleaners work just as well as their expensive counterparts while being safer around children and animals. No warnings about keeping products away from kids or calling poison control if accidentally ingested. Vinegar and baking soda might taste unpleasant, but they won't send anyone to the hospital. Storage becomes simpler too. Instead of cabinets cluttered with specialized cleaners for different surfaces, Amish homes keep a few basic ingredients that handle every cleaning task. One bottle of vinegar solution, one container of baking soda, and a pile of clean rags can clean an entire house from top to bottom. The environmental benefits add another layer of savings. No plastic bottles accumulating in landfills, no harsh chemicals washing down drains into water systems, no manufacturing and shipping costs built into product prices. Simple ingredients create effective cleaners while protecting both family budgets and the natural world. Making your own cleaning supplies saves serious money, but that's just the beginning of what Amish families create in their own kitchens. Every Amish kitchen doubles as a small manufacturing center where families produce items that most people automatically buy at stores. Bread, butter, soap, and candles emerge from these kitchens on a regular schedule, created with ingredients that cost pennies compared to their store-bought equivalents. The economics become clear when you break down the numbers. A loaf of decent bread at the grocery store costs $4 to $5. That same loaf made at home costs less than 75 cents in flour, yeast, salt, and energy. An Amish family baking 3 loaves weekly saves over $300 annually just on bread. Multiply that across butter, soap, candles, and other homemade essentials, and the savings reach into thousands of dollars per year. Butter production happens whenever cream accumulates from their dairy cows. Fresh cream goes into a churn, gets agitated until fat separates from buttermilk, then gets washed and salted to preserve flavor. The process takes about 30 minutes and produces butter that tastes far superior to store versions while costing less than half the retail price. The leftover buttermilk becomes an ingredient for pancakes, biscuits, and other baked goods. Soap making follows traditional methods using animal fats saved from butchering and lye made from wood ash. Modern Amish families often purchase caustic soda for safety and consistency, but the principle remains the same. Fat combined with lye creates soap through a chemical process called saponification. One batch produces enough bars to last a family several months at a cost of under $10 in materials. Amish homemade soap works so well that it could probably clean a politician's campaign promises and still have enough suds left over to use. Candle production uses similar fats, either beef tallow or sometimes beeswax from their own hives. Wicks get dipped repeatedly in melted fat until candles reach desired thickness. These candles burn longer and cleaner than most commercial varieties while costing almost nothing to produce. During winter months when daylight hours shrink, homemade candles provide essential lighting without electric bills. The preservation aspect becomes crucial during bulk production sessions. Amish families dedicate entire days to making large quantities of essentials. A bread-making day might produce enough loaves to freeze for weeks. Soap-making sessions create supplies lasting months. This batch approach maximizes efficiency while minimizing the time spent on production tasks. Recipe sharing strengthens community bonds while ensuring consistent quality. Experienced women teach younger family members and neighbors their techniques for achieving perfect bread texture, proper soap consistency, and long-burning candles. These skills pass down through generations, creating a reliable knowledge base that reduces dependence on commercial products. Storage methods keep homemade goods fresh without refrigeration or preservatives. Bread gets wrapped in cloth and kept in wooden boxes. Soap bars cure in dry areas where air circulation prevents moisture buildup. Candles store in cool, dark places where they maintain their shape and burning qualities for years. Quality control remains in family hands rather than corporate factories. When bread comes out too dense, the family learns from the mistake and adjusts next time. When soap doesn't harden properly, they understand what went wrong and modify their technique. This hands-on experience creates products tailored to family preferences rather than mass market appeal. The time investment pays dividends beyond money savings. Children learn valuable skills while helping with production. Families spend time together during making sessions, strengthening relationships while accomplishing necessary tasks. The satisfaction of creating useful items from basic ingredients builds confidence and self-reliance. Emergency preparedness improves when families can produce their own essentials. Economic downturns, supply chain disruptions, or natural disasters don't threaten their access to bread, soap, or lighting. They possess both the knowledge and materials needed to maintain their standard of living regardless of external circumstances. Making things from scratch saves money. But when those homemade items eventually wear out, the real savings begin. When a shoe sole starts separating or a dress develops a tear, most modern families head straight to the store for replacements. Amish households see the same problems as opportunities to extend the useful life of perfectly good items. Their approach to repairs has kept clothing, tools, and furniture functioning for decades beyond what manufacturers ever intended. The numbers tell the story of waste in modern society. Americans throw away over 80 pounds of clothing annually per person, much of it still wearable with minor repairs. Meanwhile, Amish families own fewer clothes but keep them functional for years through careful maintenance and skillful mending. A work shirt might serve 3 generations of family members through strategic patching and alterations. Every Amish home maintains a dedicated sewing area equipped with needles, thread, patches, and buttons saved from worn-out garments. When a child rips a knee in their pants during play, the tear gets patched that same evening rather than becoming grounds for disposal. These patches often outlast the original fabric, creating clothes that grow stronger through repairs rather than weaker. Tool maintenance follows similar principles of preservation over replacement. Hammer handles get replaced when they crack, saw blades get sharpened when they dull, and plow parts get welded when they break. The metal toolbox in most Amish workshops contains instruments passed down through multiple generations, each piece bearing evidence of careful repairs that kept them useful long past their expected lifespan. Some Amish tools have been repaired so many times that they're practically new, just like a husband after 40 years of marriage. Furniture repair represents perhaps the most impressive aspect of Amish reuse philosophy. Chairs lose legs, tables develop wobbles, and dressers suffer damaged drawers. But none of these problems justify throwing away solid wood furniture. Amish craftsmen can rebuild structural components, replace worn hardware, and refinish surfaces to restore furniture to better than new condition. The economics favor repair over replacement by massive margins. Resoling a pair of work boots costs $15 but extends their life by several years, while new boots of similar quality cost over $100. Patching work pants costs nothing but thread and time, while replacement pants cost $30 to $50. These savings multiply across every repaired item in the household. Children learn repair skills alongside their regular education, watching parents mend clothes, sharpen tools, and fix furniture. By adulthood, they possess the knowledge needed to maintain their own households without constantly purchasing replacements. This skill inheritance provides economic security that no amount of money in the bank can match. The salvage mindset extends to items beyond repair. When boots finally wear completely through, the leather becomes patches for other shoes or gets cut into straps and ties. Broken tools get dismantled for useful parts like handles, springs, and hardware. Even severely damaged furniture provides wood for repairs on other pieces or gets broken down for kindling. Community cooperation makes major repairs more manageable. When a family faces a repair project beyond their skills, neighbors with relevant expertise offer assistance. A farmer skilled in metalwork helps fix another family's broken plow, while someone experienced in furniture repair tackles a damaged table for friends. This knowledge sharing keeps the entire community's possessions functional without expensive professional services. The environmental benefits of repair culture reduce waste streams while conserving resources needed to manufacture new products. Every repaired item represents raw materials that don't need extraction, manufacturing processes that don't need energy, and transportation that doesn't need fuel. Amish communities generate a fraction of the waste produced by typical American households. Quality recognition drives smart repair decisions. Amish families invest time repairing well-made items while allowing cheap, poorly constructed goods to reach the end of their useful lives. They understand the difference between a solid oak chair worth decades of repairs and a particle board chair that breaks beyond economical fixing. When repair skills can't solve a problem, Amish families turn to their neighbors, creating an economy based on sharing rather than spending. Money changes hands far less frequently in Amish communities than in the outside world. Instead, families exchange goods and services directly, creating an informal economy that operates without banks, credit cards, or cash registers. A dozen fresh eggs might pay for hay baling services, while a morning of furniture repair work gets traded for homemade preserves and freshly baked bread. This trading system develops naturally from the diverse skills and products each family produces. One household excels at woodworking and furniture making, another specializes in dairy products and cheese, while a third family raises the best vegetables in the district. Rather than selling these specialties for money and then buying what they need from others, families arrange direct exchanges that benefit everyone involved. The mathematics of bartering often favor participants more than cash transactions would. When a family trades surplus vegetables for furniture repair work, both sides receive full value without paying retail markups, sales taxes, or processing fees. The vegetables cost only seeds and labor to produce, while the repair work uses existing skills and tools. Neither party loses money to middlemen or businesses that would normally profit from these transactions. Seasonal timing creates natural trading opportunities throughout the year. Spring brings fresh eggs and early vegetables that families exchange for preserved foods remaining from winter storage. Summer harvest time sees massive trading sessions where families with surplus corn trade with those who grew extra tomatoes or beans. Fall butchering season provides meat for families who offer cheese, bread, or stored vegetables in return. Amish bartering works so well that neighbors actually look forward to owing each other favors, unlike the rest of us who avoid borrowing the neighbor's lawnmower because we know we'll have to return it eventually. Labor exchanges represent some of the most valuable barter arrangements. Barn-raising projects require dozens of skilled workers, but no money changes hands. Families contribute labor according to their abilities and receive help in return when they need major construction work. These labor exchanges can save thousands of dollars compared to hiring professional contractors. The personal relationships that develop through bartering strengthen community bonds beyond mere economic benefits. When families regularly exchange goods and services, they learn about each other's needs, skills, and circumstances. This knowledge creates a support network that responds quickly to emergencies or unexpected difficulties. Record keeping for barter arrangements stays remarkably simple. Most families track major exchanges informally, remembering who provided what services and ensuring fair reciprocity over time. The trust level within Amish communities makes complex contracts or written agreements unnecessary for most trading relationships. Children observe these exchanges from early ages, learning the social skills needed to negotiate fair trades and maintain good relationships with trading partners. They understand that reputation for fairness and reliability becomes more valuable than accumulated wealth, since future trading opportunities depend on community trust and respect. Bartering also provides economic flexibility during difficult times. When cash becomes scarce due to poor harvests or economic downturns, families can still obtain necessities through trading arrangements. This resilience protects Amish communities from many economic pressures that affect cash-dependent households. The system adapts to changing needs throughout family life cycles. Young families with more labor than possessions might trade work for household goods, while older families with accumulated tools and supplies might exchange items for services they can no longer perform themselves. These flexible arrangements ensure everyone's needs get met, regardless of their current circumstances. Quality control happens naturally through repeated interactions. Families that provide inferior goods or unreliable services find fewer people willing to trade with them, while those known for excellent products and dependable work develop strong trading relationships that last for generations. The efficiency of direct exchange eliminates many costs associated with market transactions. No transportation expenses for moving goods to stores, no storage costs for inventory, no advertising expenses to attract customers, and no profit margins for retail businesses. These savings benefit both parties in every trade arrangement. While trading vegetables for services keeps money in their pockets, the same efficiency mindset transforms how Amish families approach their kitchens throughout the week. Monday morning in an Amish kitchen looks like preparation for feeding an army. Large pots bubble on wood-burning stoves while families prepare enough food to last several days. This bulk cooking approach saves time, fuel, and money while ensuring no family member ever goes hungry during busy work periods. A typical bulk cooking session might produce enough stew to feed a family of 10 for 3 days, bread that lasts a week, and casseroles that can be stored and reheated when needed. The initial time investment of 4 to 5 hours creates meals for the entire week, freeing up daily time for other essential farm and household tasks. The fuel savings alone justify this approach. Wood-burning stoves and gas-powered cooking equipment use significant energy to reach cooking temperatures. By maintaining heat for extended periods and cooking multiple items simultaneously, Amish families extract maximum value from every piece of firewood or propane purchase. Studies show that bulk cooking reduces fuel consumption by up to 60% compared to preparing individual meals daily. Leftover management becomes an art form in these households. Yesterday's roast chicken transforms into today's chicken soup, with bones providing rich broth and remaining meat adding protein to vegetables from the garden. Bread that grows stale becomes breadcrumbs for coating, stuffing for poultry, or bread pudding for dessert. Nothing edible reaches the garbage bin while it still holds nutritional value. Amish leftovers are so well planned that the Tuesday meal knows exactly what it wants to be when it grows up on Thursday. Large families make bulk cooking especially practical. When you need to feed 12 people 3 times daily, preparing individual meals becomes impossibly time-consuming. Cooking large batches allows one person to handle meal preparation while others focus on farming, woodworking, or household maintenance tasks. Recipe modification for bulk quantities requires mathematical precision that Amish cooks master through experience. Doubling or tripling ingredient amounts doesn't always work proportionally, especially for seasonings and leavening agents. Experienced cooks know that garlic flavors intensify when recipes scale up, while salt requirements don't increase linearly with batch size. Storage solutions for bulk cooked meals utilize both traditional and practical methods. Root cellars keep prepared foods cool without refrigeration, while large ceramic crocks store soups and stews for several days. Glass canning jars preserve cooked meals for weeks or months, creating a pantry of ready-to-eat foods. The variety achieved through clever leftover transformation prevents meal monotony despite cooking large batches. Beef stew base becomes shepherd's pie with added vegetables and potato topping. Chicken soup evolves into chicken and dumplings with simple flour additions. Vegetable combinations shift from side dishes to main courses with added grains or proteins. Cost analysis reveals dramatic savings from bulk cooking combined with leftover utilization. Families spend approximately 40% less on food when they cook large batches and creatively reuse ingredients compared to those who prepare fresh meals daily or rely on convenience foods. Children learn valuable lessons about food waste and resource management by observing bulk cooking operations. They understand that ingredients cost money and effort to produce, making waste both economically and morally wrong. Just as bulk cooking requires careful planning and simple ingredients, other aspects of Amish life follow the same principles of practical simplicity. Fashion trends hold no power in Amish communities where clothing serves function over form. Every garment gets chosen for durability, practicality, and cost-effectiveness rather than style or brand recognition. This approach to dress saves families thousands of dollars annually while providing clothing that often outlasts the people who wear it. The typical Amish wardrobe contains fewer items but higher quality pieces compared to modern closets stuffed with disposable fashion. Men might own 3 work shirts, 2 dress shirts, and 1 heavy coat that serves for decades. Women possess similar quantities of dresses, aprons, and outer garments, all sewn to withstand years of regular use and frequent washing. Fabric selection prioritizes longevity over appearance. Heavy cotton, wool, and linen dominate Amish clothing choices because these materials maintain their integrity through countless wash cycles and daily wear. The initial cost per garment might seem higher, but when divided across 10 to 15 years of use, the price per wearing becomes remarkably low. Home production eliminates retail markups and labor costs built into store-bought clothing. An Amish woman can sew a dress for under $20 in materials that would cost $150 or more at retail prices. Multiply this across every family member's wardrobe, and the savings reach several $1,000s annually for larger households. Amish clothing lasts so long that some families pass down work shirts that have seen more decades than some marriages. The limited color palette reduces fabric inventory while maintaining community standards for plain dress. Black, navy, gray, and other subdued colors work across all seasons and occasions, eliminating the need for extensive wardrobes that match different color schemes. This simplicity streamlines fabric purchasing and sewing projects while ensuring every garment coordinates with existing pieces. Repair skills extend clothing life far beyond normal expectations. When elbows wear through on work shirts, patches cover the holes and often outlast the original fabric. Hems get let down or taken up to accommodate growing children or changing styles. Buttons, zippers, and other hardware get replaced multiple times during a garment's lifespan rather than discarding clothes when small parts fail. Hand-me-down systems maximize the utility of every piece of clothing produced. Children inherit clothes from older siblings, cousins, or family friends, wearing them until they outgrow the items or wear them completely out. This circular economy means a single dress might serve 5 or 6 children across 2 decades before finally becoming cleaning rags. The absence of fashion pressure eliminates the costly cycle of replacing perfectly functional clothing to keep up with changing trends. Amish families never discard clothes because they look outdated or unfashionable. If a garment still provides warmth, protection, and modesty, it continues serving its purpose regardless of when it was made. Seasonal versatility gets built into every garment through layering systems and multi-purpose designs. The same dress works for summer with light undergarments or winter with additional layers underneath. Coats and jackets get designed for maximum temperature range rather than specific weather conditions, reducing the total number of outer garments needed. Children learn clothing care and basic sewing skills from early ages, understanding how to maintain their garments and extend their useful life. They know which fabrics require gentle handling, how to remove different types of stains, and when minor repairs can prevent major damage. Quality recognition guides fabric and pattern choices toward items that will provide years of reliable service. Amish seamstresses know which thread weights work best for different applications, how to reinforce stress points before they fail, and which construction techniques create the most durable seams. The elimination of dry cleaning expenses provides another layer of savings. Amish clothing gets designed for home washing and care, avoiding the ongoing costs of professional cleaning services that many modern garments require. This same practical approach that makes clothing both simple and long-lasting extends to every aspect of how Amish families manage their households. The absence of electrical connections, internet services, and cable television eliminates hundreds of dollars in monthly expenses that most families consider unavoidable. Amish households operate without the recurring costs that drain modern budgets month after month, year after year. No electric bills averaging $150 monthly, no internet fees of $80, no streaming services adding up to $50 or more. Calculate these savings over a decade, and the numbers become staggering. A typical American household spends over $30,000 on utilities and digital services during 10 years. Amish families redirect this money toward land ownership, quality tools, and productive investments that build wealth instead of creating endless payment obligations. Kerosene lamps and candles provide lighting without monthly electric bills. A gallon of kerosene costs under $4 and powers several lamps for weeks of evening use. Compare this to electric lighting that can cost $30 to $40 monthly, even in modest homes. Amish entertainment is so simple that their idea of streaming involves watching the creek flow by the house, and their biggest worry about buffering is whether the neighbor's cow is blocking the view. Wood-burning stoves heat homes using fuel that often comes from the family's own land or through trading arrangements with neighbors. Cutting and splitting firewood requires time and effort, but eliminates heating bills that can reach $300 monthly during winter months. Entertainment expenses disappear when families create their own activities rather than purchasing digital content or services. Board games, musical instruments, books, and outdoor activities provide recreation without subscription fees or equipment costs. Children learn to appreciate simple pleasures that don't require constant financial input to maintain. Communication happens through letters, face-to-face visits, and community gatherings rather than expensive phone plans and internet services. While this requires more planning and effort, it eliminates monthly bills that can exceed $100 for families with multiple phones and data plans. The psychological freedom from monthly obligations creates peace of mind that extends beyond mere financial benefits. Amish families never worry about bill collectors, late payment fees, or service disconnections. They own their lifestyle completely rather than renting it from utility companies and service providers. Food preservation and storage eliminate the need for electric refrigeration and freezing. Root cellars, smokehouses, and canning preserve food naturally without ongoing electrical costs. These traditional methods often preserve food quality better than modern refrigeration, while requiring no monthly payments to maintain. While avoiding monthly bills saves substantial money, the real foundation of Amish frugality lies in their approach to using every resource completely. Nothing gets thrown away in an Amish household if it still holds any possibility of usefulness. This complete utilization mindset transforms what most people consider garbage into valuable resources that serve new purposes throughout the home and farm. The financial impact of this approach saves families hundreds of dollars annually while reducing waste to practically nothing. Food scraps that would fill modern garbage bins become ingredients for other purposes in Amish kitchens. Vegetable peels and trimmings get chopped and added to soup stocks, creating rich broths that would cost several dollars at grocery stores. Potato skins become crispy snacks when fried in a bit of fat. Apple cores and peels get turned into vinegar through natural fermentation processes that take months but cost nothing except time. Meat bones never reach the trash bin before serving multiple functions. Chicken bones become the base for hearty soups that feed the family for days. Beef and pork bones get roasted and simmered into rich stocks that enhance countless meals. Even after making broth, the softened bones get fed to pigs or ground up for garden fertilizer, ensuring every bit of nutrition gets extracted. Amish recycling is so thorough that their garbage collectors probably drive right past their houses wondering if anyone actually lives there, then stop at the neighbors who throw away more in 1 week than the Amish family discards in a year. Fabric scraps from sewing projects accumulate in baskets until they reach sufficient quantities for quilting projects. These quilts provide warmth for decades while using up every piece of cloth too small for individual garments. Even tiny fabric pieces become stuffing for pillows or padding for furniture cushions. Worn-out clothing continues serving long after it becomes unsuitable for wearing. Old shirts become cleaning rags that last for years with regular washing. Pants legs get cut off and sewn into smaller items like pot holders or tool pouches. Even completely deteriorated fabric gets composted to enrich garden soil with organic matter. Paper products serve multiple purposes before disposal. Newspapers become fire starters for wood stoves, wrapping material for storing items, or mulch for garden beds. Letters and documents get reused as writing paper for shopping lists or farm records before finally joining the compost pile. Glass jars accumulate from purchased goods and get reused for food storage, canning projects, and organizing small household items. Mason jars can last for decades with proper care, eliminating the need to purchase storage containers. Even broken glass gets saved for mixing into concrete projects or creating drainage layers in plant pots. Metal items receive similar complete utilization treatment. Old buckets with holes become planters for flowers or vegetables. Broken tools get dismantled for parts that repair other equipment. Even rusty metal pieces find uses as garden stakes or reinforcement materials for construction projects. Wood scraps from building and repair projects never get wasted. Small pieces become kindling for fires. Medium pieces get crafted into household items like spoons or handles, and larger scraps join future construction projects. Sawdust serves as bedding for animals or gets mixed into compost piles. The Amish don't save money by chance. It's the result of intentional habits passed down for generations. Apply even a few of their methods and you'll start spending less, wasting less, and living with a lot more peace of mind.